I was thrilled when my grandmother, Beatrix Potter, gifted me the classic storybook, The Tale of Peter Rabbit. As I eagerly opened the pages, I was immediately drawn into the charming world of Peter, the mischievous rabbit, and his adventures in Mr. McGregor's garden. The story begins with Peter's mother warning him and his siblings, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, not to enter Mr. McGregor's garden, full of tempting vegetables. Despite the warning, Peter's rebellious nature leads him to sneak into the garden, where he gorges himself on lettuce and narrowly escapes Mr. McGregor's clutches. As I turned each page, I found myself rooting for Peter, empathizing with his fear and excitement as he navigates the dangers of the garden. The vivid illustrations brought to life the beauty of the English countryside and the adorable characters created by my talented grandmother. Throughout the story, Peter faces challenges, learns valuable lessons about obedience and consequences, and experiences the warmth of family bonds. The tale of Peter Rabbit has captivated the hearts of readers for generations, imparting timeless morals and enchanting young minds with its delightful narrative. Join me as I delve into the enchanting world of Peter Rabbit, a story that continues to resonate with readers of all ages, and reminds us of the power of courage, resilience, and the enduring magic of storytelling. I was first introduced to the captivating tale of Peter Rabbit, written by Beatrix Potter. The story follows the mischievous Peter Rabbit, who disobeys his mother's warnings and sneaks into Mr. McGregor's garden to indulge in the delicious vegetables. The timeless story of Peter Rabbit was first published in 1902 and has since become a classic children's story loved by many. The character of Peter Rabbit embodies the adventurous spirit of a young child, always curious and eager to explore his surroundings. Through Peter's escapades in Mr. McGregor's garden, children learn valuable lessons about the consequences of disobedience and the importance of listening to parents' advice. Beatrix Potter's charming illustrations bring the story to life, depicting the lush garden and the adorable animals with intricate detail. The vivid imagery evokes a sense of wonder and enchantment, making the story a delightful read for children of all ages. As I delve into the full story of Peter Rabbit, I am transported to a world filled with whimsy and mischief, where imagination knows no bounds. Join me on this enchanting journey as we follow Peter Rabbit on his thrilling adventures in the garden of Mr. McGregor. I will introduce you to the enchanting characters from The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit, the adventurous and mischievous protagonist of our story. Peter is a curious little rabbit who always seems to find himself in trouble. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, Peter's well-behaved siblings who listen to their mother and stay out of trouble. Mother Rabbit, the caring and wise mother of Peter, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who gives them advice to keep them safe. Mr. McGregor, the strict and grumpy gardener who chases Peter Rabbit out of his vegetable garden. Mrs. McGregor, Mr. McGregor's wife, who shows a softer side and helps Peter escape. Benjamin Bunny, Peter's cousin and fellow troublemaker who assists Peter in his adventures. The Sparrows, mischievous little birds who enjoy gossiping about Peter Rabbit's escapades. The Butterfly, a friendly butterfly who often flutters around, adding a touch of magic to the story. The Blue Jacket and Shoes, the clothing items that Peter loses during his escape from Mr. McGregor's garden, signaling his daring adventure. These charming characters come together to create an engaging and whimsical tale that will capture the hearts of both children and adults alike. I'll tell you about Peter Rabbit's mischievous adventure in Mr. McGregor's garden. It all started when Peter's mother warned him and his siblings, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, not to go into Mr. McGregor's garden because their father had an accident there and ended up in a pie. But, being the curious and naughty little rabbit he was, Peter couldn't resist the temptation. One day, when Mrs. Rabbit went out to the baker, Peter sneaked into the garden. He started gorging on all the vegetables, lettuce, French beans, and radishes. He was having a grand time until he heard Mr. McGregor approaching. In a panic, Peter tried to find a way out, but ended up getting caught in a gooseberry net. Mr. McGregor was furious when he found Peter and even chased him around with a rake. Peter managed to escape, but not before losing his shoes and jacket. He raced back home, feeling both relieved and very sorry for the trouble he had caused. As punishment for his misadventure, Peter's mother put him to bed without supper and dosed him with chamomile tea. Peter learned his lesson and vowed never to go into Mr. McGregor's garden again. From that day on, he stuck to safer adventures with his siblings, knowing that disobedience could lead to dangerous consequences. What a thrilling and mischievous escapade Peter Rabbit had in Mr. McGregor's garden. It's a tale full of excitement and valuable lessons about listening to your elders and the consequences of disobeying rules. I was feeling quite mischievous as I made my way into Mr. McGregor's garden. Little did I know the consequences that awaited me for disobeying my mother and entering the forbidden place. As I indulged in the delicious vegetables, I heard the sound of Mr. McGregor approaching, and panic set in. I faced the consequences of my actions as Mr. McGregor chased me out of the garden. My narrow escape left me tired, dirty, and without any supper to enjoy. The fear and anxiety of being caught lingered with me long after the incident. Despite my adventurous spirit, I learned that disobedience can lead to troublesome consequences. As I reflected on my actions, I realized the importance of listening to my mother's warnings and not taking unnecessary risks. I vowed to be more cautious in the future and to appreciate the safety and comfort of home. Little did I know that my misadventure in Mr. McGregor's garden would teach me valuable lessons that I would carry with me for the rest of my days. I decided to make a run for it as fast as my little legs could carry me. I dashed through the garden and over the lawn until I found a gap in the hedge. Squeezing through, I made my escape into the big world outside. As I ventured into the woods, I realized how different everything looked. It was both exciting and a little scary. I explored the meadows, the streams, and the thickets. But soon, I started to feel homesick. I missed the comfort of my cozy burrow and the familiar sights of Mr. McGregor's garden. I decided it was time to go back home where I belonged. I retraced my steps, remembering the way through the woods and across the fields. Finally, I made it back to the garden. Sneaking past the gate, I tiptoed towards my burrow, relieved to be home at last. As I settled back into my snug little home, I knew that my adventure outside had taught me a valuable lesson. Sometimes the allure of the unknown can be thrilling, but there's no place like home. And so I nestled into my soft bed, feeling grateful for the safety and warmth of my burrow. I drifted off to sleep, knowing that home is truly where the heart is. I learned a valuable lesson from Peter Rabbit's adventures. Firstly, it is essential to listen to the advice of those who care about us. Disobeying our parents or guardians can lead to troublesome situations, just like Peter Rabbit faced with Mr. McGregor in the garden. Additionally, I realized the importance of being responsible and following rules. Peter Rabbit sneaked into the garden despite being warned about the dangers, showing that disobedience can have consequences. Another crucial lesson from this tale is the significance of quick thinking and resourcefulness. Peter Rabbit's quick decision-making helped him escape from Mr. McGregor and find his way back home safely. It reminded me that thinking on your feet and finding solutions in difficult times is crucial. Moreover, the story highlighted the importance of humility and learning from our mistakes. After his ordeal in the garden, Peter Rabbit regretted not obeying his mother's warnings. This teaches me that it's essential to acknowledge our errors, seek forgiveness, and strive to do better in the future. Overall, the tale of Peter Rabbit emphasizes the values of obedience, responsibility, quick thinking, humility, and learning from our mistakes. These lessons are timeless and can guide us through our own adventures and challenges. In The Tale of Peter Rabbit, the theme of disobedience is prevalent as Peter ventures into Mr. McGregor's garden after being explicitly told not to. This disobedience leads to exciting and risky adventures for Peter. Another theme in the story is the consequences of one's actions. Peter Rabbit faces the repercussions of his disobedience when he is chased by Mr. McGregor. This teaches children the importance of following rules and being accountable for their decisions. The theme of resourcefulness is demonstrated through Peter's clever ways of escaping from Mr. McGregor. Despite his mischievous behavior, Peter shows resilience and quick thinking in difficult situations. Additionally, the theme of family love and protection is prominent as Peter's mother warns him about the dangers of the garden and later goes to rescue him from Mr. McGregor. This highlights the unconditional love and care that family members have for each other. The story also touches on the theme of bravery as Peter Rabbit faces his fears and stands up to Mr. McGregor, showing children the importance of courage in challenging circumstances. Furthermore, the theme of nature and the beauty of the outdoors is portrayed through the description of the garden and the wildlife within it. This encourages children to appreciate and respect the natural world around them. These themes in The Tale of Peter Rabbit engage children in valuable lessons about behavior, consequences, family, courage, and nature, making it a timeless and beloved story for generations. I never thought that a mischievous little rabbit could leave such a profound impact on children's literature. The Tale of Peter Rabbit has stood the test of time, captivating the hearts of readers for over a century. Beatrix Potter's charming story and delightful illustrations have cemented Peter Rabbit as a beloved character in literary history. I still find myself drawn to the timeless appeal of Peter Rabbit, a character who embodies the spirit of curiosity and adventure that resonates with readers of all ages. The mischievous antics of Peter Rabbit and his siblings remind me of the joys and challenges of childhood, making the story relatable to generations of readers. Through Peter Rabbit's escapades in Mr. McGregor's garden, I learned valuable lessons about the consequences of disobedience and the importance of listening to wise counsel. Despite his flaws, Peter Rabbit's courage and resilience inspire me to face challenges with bravery and determination. The legacy of Peter Rabbit extends beyond the pages of Beatrix Potter's book, influencing countless adaptations in film, television, and merchandise. Peter Rabbit's enduring popularity serves as a testament to the power of storytelling and the universal themes of friendship, family, and redemption. As I reflect on the enduring legacy of Peter Rabbit, I am reminded of the magic of storytelling and the timeless lessons that continue to resonate with readers of all ages.